Okay, so now the hookup. It's this completely accepted thing that, you know, it's considered now a rite of passage, and people think it's no big deal. They love to frame it that it's just meaningless sex. It's just, you know, it's a way to relieve stress, whatever. No sex is meaningless. Doesn't matter how you frame it. Doesn't matter how you convince yourself. Doesn't matter if you're completely wasted and you don't remember it. It has an impact on you physically and emotionally. Sex is vulnerable. Sex puts you, you're not just naked, you are emotionally naked. You are putting yourself out there. In theory, in meetings, at 8 o'clock at night on a Wednesday, everyone's like, of course we use condoms. Game time decision? It's not happening. Ask the health center what's going on. We got chlamydia, syphilis, gonorrhea. We've got herpes. HPV still is rolling. Wrap that monkey before you get funky every single time. Women carry those condoms. Wear them as earrings. Men tuck them in the rim of your hat. But you know you can't physically restrain, and you know that no means no. What happens through the use of alcohol and through the murky gray messages that somehow the excessive alcohol makes you justify consent in your head? Not just consent, but enthusiastic consent. Clear consent. Yes, I want to do this. You need to start practicing with all the little things so that when you get to a situation where you really need to intervene, you're ready. And this one guy knew he had a lot of social power on his campus. He was the captain of the basketball team. He was the head of Massive. He's at a party, he sees two guys taking two women who are wasted up the stairs into a room. One is practically falling down, but the guy's carrying her up. He says to himself, I need to step up. So he goes around to his buddies and he's like, can you help me? Buddies are like, dude, I'm not getting it. No way, no way. He has to take it on himself. He digs deep. Okay, he is a strapping guy. He is confident, but he is scared to death. And he's like, I have to do this. This is the right thing to do. The inner compass says go. And he stuck with it even though his heart was racing, even though he knew he was going to pay socially. He didn't care. And he just took it on and he prevailed. And he got those guys to back down. He got those women to a safe place. So you got to start small. You got to speak up, speak your mind, disappoint people, say no to people, state your boundaries. All that stuff has to start day to day, so you're ready if you need to intervene in a situation that you're ready. Social skills. So much time now is spent on the phone. So we say to people, you got to read these cues. You know, in a sexual situation, you've got to know when no means no. You've got to read the cues in the dark, under the influence of alcohol. But you spend most of your time like communicating like this. Social skills are seriously impaired these days, okay? People don't know how to read body language, eye contact. They're not quite getting the subtle cues that used to be very obvious to people because they don't have practice, voice tone. We're not picking up on these cues as much anymore because we're behind a screen. Be present, slow down, because when all this slows down and you're capable of being alone in your head, you start hearing your inner compass and it starts telling you things you need to know. Nowadays, every campus has a lot of students who don't drink. And I think that's much more supported. There's room for that. Not much room for the moderation. But anyway, people want you. They're very invested in having you drink. But you get a drink in someone's hand. So the awkward person without alcohol comes in. Once they have a drink, the body language changes. Watch people with a drink in their hand. It could be their first drink. Could be their 10th drink, but the body language changes. Suddenly there's drink or swagger. Most of you have been home with your parents, and all of a sudden you get to college and you think, this is my chance. This is when you just go nuts. Less people are drinking, but the people who are drinking now drink to extreme excess, to the point where they don't remember the parties. They can't, someone else has to describe what they did at a party. Culture tells us that to be a hot woman, you have to fit in a very slender little slice of what that means, how you look, how you are. And yes, we want you to be hot, but don't be slutty. We want you to be smart, but you better be impressionable. We want you to be strong, but not too strong. Mixed messages, impossible to deal with. One thing we don't talk a lot about in the culture is how we deal with men. And we're always wagging our fingers like you men are the problem. And yet we provide you no guidance, no exit ramp to do it differently. Maybe guys about 35 and older Porn, they used to have to work for it. They had to get an older brother to get a magazine at a store or steal it from their brother or their uncle. You had to get by your sister, by your mom, tuck it under your back mattress, boom. Okay, all of that, risk for shame, risk for being out of humiliation. There's so much risk. These days, I hear parents say, my child is so studious. He's up in his room just studying all the time. The changes on campus are going to start from inside. It's going to start with the students, and the issues around men and sexual assault, it's going to change if men are involved. Question the culture, challenge the culture, look at what's coming at you, and think about it. It's time to wake up.